Have you ever stopped for a moment and truly asked yourself, who is Jesus to me? Not just a name you hear in church, not just a story from the Bible, not just something people mention when life gets hard, but the living Savior who still reaches into real lives, real pain, real struggles, and real hearts today. Because if you are watching this right now, it is not random. It is not by accident. There is something deeper happening in your life that you may not fully understand yet. Something in your heart is searching. Something in your soul feels unsettled. Something inside you is quietly asking for more than what this world has been able to give you. And today, Jesus is speaking to that place. Before anything else, understand this clearly. Jesus is not distant. He is not far away. He is not ignoring your life. He is not waiting for you to become perfect before he looks at you. He is near, closer than your breath, closer than your thoughts, closer than your pain that you don't talk about. He sees everything you try to hide, the nights you feel overwhelmed, the moments you smile while feeling broken inside, the times you act strong, but deep down you feel like you're barely holding on. And still, he says, I see you. Not the version of you people see online or in public, but the real you, the tired you, the anxious you, the confused you, the version of you that feels like no one truly understands. And here is the truth many people struggle to believe. Jesus is not running away from you because of your struggles. He is moving closer to you in them. In the Bible, Jesus never rejected broken people. He didn't wait for them to fix themselves first. He didn't demand a clean life before offering love. Instead, he stepped into brokenness. He touched lives that society rejected. He spoke to people who felt unworthy. He restored those who thought they were beyond hope. And that same Jesus has not changed. Maybe you feel like you have gone too far. Maybe you feel like your mistakes are too many. Maybe you feel like your past is too heavy to be forgiven. But listen carefully. Jesus did not come for people who have it all together. He came for people who know they don't. That means he came for you. There is a moment in every human life when everything on the outside may look normal, but inside, something feels empty. You try to fill it with distractions. You try to fill it with relationships. You try to fill it with success, entertainment, and temporary happiness. But it never fully stays. Because there is a space in your heart that nothing in this world can satisfy. Not money, not people, not achievements, not temporary comfort, only Jesus. He is not just a comfort during pain. He is not just a name to call when things go wrong. He is the source of life itself. Jesus once said, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Think about that for a moment. Not, I might give you rest. Not, try harder and maybe you'll find rest. But I will give you rest. That is a promise from God himself. Rest for your thoughts that never stop overthinking. Rest for your heart that feels heavy from disappointment. Rest for your soul that feels tired from fighting battles alone. But to receive that rest, something inside you has to change. Not your perfection, but your direction. You were never meant to carry everything alone. You were never meant to carry guilt for your entire life. You were never meant to carry fear every single day. You were never meant to carry shame that God already forgave. You were never meant to walk through life without peace. Jesus did not come to add pressure to your life. He came to remove it. On the cross, he carried what you were never meant to carry. Every mistake, every sin, every failure, every moment you thought disqualified you from love. He took it upon himself. And then he rose again, not as a symbol, not as a myth, but as living proof that darkness does not win, that death does not win, that your past does not win, that your failure does not define your future. So when life says, you are done, Jesus says, you are not done. When your thoughts say, you are not enough, Jesus says, you are loved. When your past says you cannot change, Jesus says, I can make all things new. But here is where truth becomes personal. Knowing about Jesus is not the same as walking with Jesus. Hearing about him is not the same as surrendering to him. Talking about him is not the same as trusting him daily. Jesus is not asking for a perfect life. He is asking for a willing heart. A heart that says, I can't do this alone anymore. Because real transformation begins when you stop depending only on your own strength and start walking with him step by step. And yes, life will still have challenges. Faith does not remove every problem instantly, but it changes how you carry them. Because now you are not alone in them. You will have peace in chaos, strength in weakness, hope in uncertainty, direction in confusion. Not because life becomes easy, but because Jesus becomes present. And when Jesus is present, even the hardest seasons start to look different. There will still be moments where you feel weak. There will still be moments where you struggle. There will still be moments where you fall short. But Jesus does not leave you in those moments. He lifts you. He restores you. He walks with you through every process of becoming. So today is more than just listening to a message. It is a moment of reflection. A moment where your heart has to ask a serious question. Am I truly walking with Jesus, or am I just hearing about him? Because he is still calling. Not with anger, not with rejection, not with condemnation, but with love. A love that does not give up. A love that does not change. A love that reaches into your lowest moments and says, I am still here. And his invitation is still simple. Come to me. Not when everything is fixed. Not when life is perfect. Not when you feel ready. But now, right where you are. Because you don't need to clean your life before coming to Jesus. You come to Jesus so he can begin cleaning, healing, restoring, and rebuilding your life from the inside out. So wherever you are watching this, pause for a moment and understand this truth. You are not forgotten. You are not beyond hope. You are not too far gone. You are not disqualified. Jesus is still here, still calling, still forgiving, still restoring, still saving. And he is waiting, not for perfection, but for your heart to turn toward him. And if you allow him into your life, even in the smallest way, nothing will ever truly stay the same again. Because Jesus does not just improve your life, he transforms it completely. And he is still enough for every part of it.